everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Legacy, the racist himself, Skids, based on his appearance from Generation 1. And before we get into this, there was actually something funny that happened today. I was walking the dog like 2 hours ago, and while we were walking, I saw a car drive by, spitting image of the Skids from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. It was the same model of car, the Chevy Spark. However, it was colored blue, boys. So I just thought I had to mention it. Too bad there was no red on there, but still, it was a blue Chevy Spark that drove by me. It was the combination of Generation 1 and Revenge of the Fallen. Kind of something that Hasbro used to do. You remember that when the Age of Extinction Dinobots were turned into the Generation 1 Dinobots, at least color-wise. When they used to do that kind of stuff, fun stuff. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it since we are talking about, Skids here and all. Anyway, Skids, I don't really remember you much from the show. I'm gonna be honest here, I don't necessarily remember you. Like, whenever I think of you, it turns out I'm thinking of Trax, the other blue guy, so, I know you showed up, that's what I know. And outside of that, you were basically just there. You were just there to be a pal, and that's what you were. But that doesn't matter, because we're here for Plastic, baby, and he looks great. He looks really good. I'm a big fan of this guy. Outside of the transformation, which, well, I have a little bit of an issue, and that's more with the roof section. It's not the transformation, more the vehicle mode, but like there's like a piece that will stick up and it annoys me. But outside of that, he looks nice, so let's get into closer so we can take a look at that head sculpt that has just a plate behind it for some reason. But yeah, a very nice looking head sculpt. You got the nice Autobot symbol here at the front. You got the nice silver here with the light as well. You got the nice blue arms. I love the dark blue and the red as well. It is close to being my favorite coloration, but to be honest, red and black, like mostly black and then with some red, still outshines the blue, sadly enough. But then he also has a nice red crotch piece. He's got some nice silver here on the legs, some black here down here, and also he's got some nice big feet here as well with fully red. And then on the back here, he basically just has the Bumblebee thing, the movie Bumblebee thing. You just have to accept it. He's got the door wings and the roof there. That's just the basic movie Bumblebee. And also he's got the wheels of the front of the car here at the shoulder as well. Big fan of that as well. But overall, he is a nice looking guy, and weirdly enough, to be honest, because of the fact of how big he is, he actually comes with a lot of stuff that I did not expect. So let's get you out of here, and let's start off with the weird thing. So starting off here, he comes with an axe that apparently can also be a gun for some reason, which I don't really get. Like you're supposed, like the instruction, I was confused about this during the open box as well, but you can just put this in here. Now it's supposed to be a gun, which looks dumb, but I like to look at it as an axe. However, I'm not the biggest fan of this weapon because it just kind of looks weird. It feels out of place for the boy Skids. Even though I don't really remember Skids, it does indeed feel entirely out of place for him. But whatever, I'm not gonna complain about getting a little bit more than, I bargained for. Outside of Galaxy Shuttle, I have an issue with that one because I find it entirely unnecessary and it kind of ruins the flow. But anyway, let's get this thing out of here so we can look at the next gun, which is just a regular gun, as you can see, just a classic gun. He can hold it in his hand like so and pew 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 the enemies. And then also, here comes with this gun that I actually used for the thumbnail because I thought it looked pretty cool. And obviously you can plug it in here at the top of the arm, as I did for the thumbnail, like so. Or you can actually just plug it into his hand if you want to as well, like so. Or if you also want to, you can get to the bottom here and you can see that there's a hole there. So you can take the peg here and just, I don't know if you can do this while he's holding it, but we'll just have to give it a shot, don't we? You can plug it in under here, and now it's a triple-barreled gun, which feels very violent for Skids. But to be honest, I don't hate it, and also it gives me room in order to be able to just plug the axe in the other hand. So yeah, he's got quite the arsenal, good old Skids. Like, I was not expecting him to come with quite an arsenal, looking at the fact that, like I said, I don't necessarily remember you, and I think people actually talked about it being weird that you had a big arsenal in the Thrilling 30 one, I think it actually was, which I do not own. I do do not have another version of Skids outside of like the Revenge of the Fallen version, but I'm not grabbing that one because I don't want to deal with that, okay? I don't want to deal with that today. I got a lot on my plate today, okay? So let's just not, okay? I want to get all these reviews done before Wednesday, at least my Wednesday anyway, which is the day that I'm gonna watch Fantastic Four, so that I can just get these reviews done and over with today, you know? It's nothing against the figures, but I just want to get it done, so no sleep till we're done, boys. No sleep. But anyway, like I said, he looks very nice, come with some nice weapons. So let's get into articulation segment then, shall we? So his head with the plate can rotate all the way around. It has a little bit of up and down as well. The doors can move a little bit out of the way in order to kind of accommodate for, but not really much. I mean, you can kind of move this up in order to move it out of the way more. But to accommodate for the arm rotation like so, he also has some in and out, and also this does not lock in, which I do not really like, but it does allow for a double thing, but I kind of wish it was more of a lock-in. There was a lock-in point. Anyway, then he also has a swivel down here. He's got an elbow bend like so, and his hand can rotate as well. Cosmos can learn from that. Then he has a waist rotation down here. He's got legs that can go forward, and obviously if you move the backpack out of the way, it can also move back like so. Then he has some in and out as well. If you move the arm out of the way, he's got some in and out as well. A rotation down here, and then a bend at the knee, and I do like how this piece does not move to immediately fill it in. You know, like, I like how this works. I will say that. I like how it works. And then also his feet can ankle tilt as well as they should. So he's got some nice articulation. I'm a big fan of the way that he can articulate himself. And he also looks very nice. He's just a fun, nice guy. So now let's get straight into size comparison. And just like I did for the other guy, here we got Cosmos, baby. Just like how I did for Cosmos, because of the fact that I still have him here, because like I said, I'm shooting these two on the same day. So, at the same time, technically. So it's fun to have Cosmos join in for the size comparison as well. And I don't know if Cosmos or even Skids are ever really going to see the light of size comparison day again. I have no idea. But anyway, here they are together, looking very nice together. Let's move you out of the way and bring in the popular lads. So here we got Optimus Prime and Bumblebee together with Skids, looking very nice, very good. Big fan, big fan. So then here we have Skids with my three favorites, the Iron Knight, Sideswipe, and size comparison. Looking really good with them as well, you know. It's a car former from Generation 1. They've been making this for decades now. They should be able to understand how it works, you know, in order to make them look good. And they do look good, my goodness. So let's get them out of here. Let's put Skids in closer, and then let's get into that transformation. So let's get Skids transformed into his vehicular form. So what you want to start off with is you want to kind of get this thing a little bit out of the way. Then you can just start this off by untabbing the chest. There you go. I just needed a place to start. Simple and easy. You can rotate things back. Then obviously you can then rotate the arm down like so. Rotate the wheel so that it's sitting flush with this. So basically you can then just rotate the wheel like so and rotate it down. I kind of had a little bit of an issue starting, but once you get started you can't stop. Rotate the arms so that the fists are facing forward. We'll get more into that bad boy later on. After that, what you want to do is you want to then take this crotch piece here. Rotate first of all the legs down, but then rotate the crotch piece up, all the way up, so that this can go behind it in order to kind of lock everything into place. Very much important piece here to get locked into place. Then you can tap the legs together, which automatically happened on my copy. Just whoops. I'd like to do that normally myself, but it automatically happened. Fold out the knee pieces. Then you can rotate the arms in, and then in the back here, let's see here, this here tab here can go into the arms. So you basically just want to rotate this down. Make sure that everything is kind of out of the way so you can tab that in. So just rotate this down, and there's actually like a slot right here. This slot here is actually where you want to tab it in. So just kind of feel for it and then just figure out where to tab it in, and tab it in if need be. That kind of locks the whole thing into place. After that, what you want to do is you want to rotate these pieces of the legs only, but keep this in place because there is actually a connection here. Let me just see if I can show that off. There you go. Two tabs here on the back of the legs that are gonna go under there, but mine did it automatically when I pushed that piece up. But yeah, then you want to rotate, like I said, this piece down like so in order to line the whole thing up. Also come under the feet here and rotate out the wheels. And then finally what you want to do is you want to take this clear piece tab right there, and you want to get that in that slot right there. So just close up the doors. This vehicle kind of reminds me of the vehicle that Postman Pat always had. God, what a show. What a legendary show I used to watch as a kid. But that's it. That's it. Now here he is in his boxing car, baby. So here we have Skids in his box mode, and he looks great, to be honest. I think overall he looks great. However, I have a wee problem. As you can see, the gap there. I cannot fix that gap. That gap is just there. I hate that gap. And on this side, the gap isn't necessarily there. It's just only on this side. It's like there's something in here that pushes it up. But if I open up the doors, which I love how you can do that, there doesn't really seem to be anything in there, you know? It's like this is supposed to tab into the leg, but it seems like the tabbing that happens here, that connection might actually be wrong, but I can't really see in there, so that kind of annoys me. But outside of that, he is a very nice looking box, and also transformation was really easy, way easier than I thought, because when I first did this, I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do with the feet? Just put them under the car, and also his head is there, hello, but yeah, just put the feet under the car, that's all you need, and to be honest, that is sometimes all you need, but he looks very nice. So let's get in closer here. Starting off here, we got the Autobot symbol here up the front. We got the nice dark blue with the red here on the side, kind of reminding me of a car version of the A-Team van, even though it's not black and gray, but still, it is still two-toned blue, so it kind of works. And you got the nice front here with the yellow and the silver, and woo, how nice. And then the wheels are kind of boring. I will say that the wheels are boring. There's no pinwheels. Well, there's pinwheels in the back. They roll very nicely. The front do not roll nicely at all. No pinwheels, sadly enough, at the front. Kind of annoys me a little bit, but also the fact that it's just a gaping hole. It looks like lips. Let's be honest here. These things look like lips, and it's just not that good. But like I said, I love the silver and red stripe here on the side. This is what he looks like from the back, and as always with these vehicle modes, they never have any back windows, do they? They never have any back windows. However, these kind of windows do remind me of the Sentinel from GTA 3, one of my favorite cars from that game. Did a let's play of it. And also he has a, but he did get a roof window. Wow, he actually did get a roof window, but he did not get the back window. Or the back lights, or the license plate. But still, very nice looking. So then, weapon integration. Obviously, you got a big hole up here, so you can take the weapon and just plug it on here, like so. However, there's no real way to hide this bad boy away. Sadly enough, there is no real way to hide this thing away. So you can either do that, and then also you can technically do this, and there you go. This is how you can store the weapons. So you got some weapon storage, but it looks ridiculous to get it out of here since we have no articulation. We have SAS comparison next up, being first of all with Cosmos, baby. Here they are together since I'm recording both of their reviews on the same day, and they look very nice together. Look at them. I mean, obviously, they do not really work together, but to be honest, I don't necessarily care. It is a fantasy thing anyway. Or is it? Maybe there actually are transforming robots out there. Who's to say? You never know with AI and everything. But anyway, still looking very nice. Let's get you out of here for the popular boys. So here we have Skids together with Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, obviously. Looking very nice together with these guys. Look at that. I love the way the Skids looks with them. I'm happy to own Skids. Moving you two out of the way for the favorites. So here we got Iron Knight, Sideswipe, and size comparison. Very nice, very nice. I love the way that he looks. He actually looks pretty accurate to the other guys in scale. Very, very nice. Makes me very happy to have Skids in the collection, even though it's just Skids, you know, the racist. So let's get these guys out of here. Pull you in closer and let's get into the reverse transformation. So let's get Skids back into his robotic mode. So what you want to start off with is you want to open up the doors here. And then what you want to do is you want to take these legs here and rotate them around like so. Fold these pieces up and tap them into place. Split the legs and also untap the legs from back here. Take the arms here, rotate them forward and then rotate them out and off to the side. Then what you want to do is you want to untap this front window thing here from in here. Rotate the chest down and click it into place. Rotate this down and also get the crotch piece back into place. Then rotate this down, obviously. And then you can rotate these pieces here around the wheels towards the back of the bus. And then obviously rotate the arms around and bam, there you go. Doesn't really take much for Skids to transform, but to be honest, he is one of them G1 fellows. So it's obvious that it doesn't necessarily take too much for him to transform. But here he is back in his robotic mood. So final thoughts on Skids. What do I think about him? I think he's actually pretty good. You know, he's a basic former. I will say that. The transformation transformation is as boring as it can be, to be honest. It is so boring. He does nothing interesting with the transformation at all. You've seen it all before. You know exactly where everything is gonna go. I didn't really even need instructions in order to transform this guy. To be honest, I needed instructions to transform this guy because of the fact that I was gonna think it would be too complicated. So I was gonna do things like, okay, what are you supposed to do with the feet? Oh, nothing. Okay, cool. You're supposed to do absolutely nothing with the feet. So for me, that is a little bit of an issue if you really want to count it. But outside of that, you know, I think he's a basic figure. But would I recommend him? I don't really know. I mean, there are a lot of deluxe class car figures that can do a lot of different stuff. Also, this guy's racist, so I should distance myself from him, obviously, you know, but still, yeah, I think he's fun. I think he's a fun little guy, but to be honest, he is not really that special. He is just a basic boy. So would I recommend him? If you find him on sale, sure, I would recommend him then, but outside of that, like I said, the basic stuff kinda ruins it a little bit. But that has been my review of Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!